So welcome everyone to the anime and manga news for the week ending February 2nd, 2013. I'm recording this using a different video channel this time, so slightly different video quality this time around. Starting with some anime news, we're actually not sure if this is anime or not, but there's a new Gundam Age project that has been greenlit. The producer Masakazu Ogawa announced on the official Gundam Age Twitter account that production has started on a new project featuring Asano and Galette, which has finally been greenlit. I didn't say what kind, but the designer Michinori Chiba drew a new sketch that includes animation registration holes, so normal like punch holes you have at the top of an animation sheet. So it's probably an anime project, but we're not sure just yet. But we will find out. Ogawa has previously said it would be interesting to do a story focusing on the characters' days as students. So, interesting. Meanwhile, definitely some anime news. The next Dragon Ball movie, Dragon Ball Z Battle of Gods, will be the first Japanese film in IMAX theaters, IMAX digital theaters, that is, set during a lost decade after the battle with Majin Buu, and will feature Goku fighting things. Big shock there, I know. Moving on, if you're going to be in New York in March, and you're planning on going to the New York International Children's Film Festival, there'll be screenings from Up on Poppy Hill, as well as Wolf Children and Welcome to the Space Show, all interesting films released recently. Up on Poppy Hill is the latest from Goro Miyazaki, Hayao Miyazaki's son. Wolf Children, the latest from Mamoru Hosoda, of Summer Wars and other works. And Welcome to the Space Show is from basically the staff of Reader Guy. So, if you're going to be in New York for that, that's certainly worth checking out. Meanwhile, if you're going to be in, what was it? I had another one about that. There's also an announcement. In Massachusetts, the Amherst Cinema will be screening 7 different Studio Ghibli films in March and April. Various things. They'll be screening Up on Poppy Hill, Castle in the Sky, Howl's Moving Castle, Totoro, Nausicaa, Mononoke, and Spirited Away, all in Japanese language with English subtitles. So if you're interested in that, there's a place to go. Meanwhile, over back in Japan, Hiroyasu Ishida has announced that he and animator Takashi Nakamura, who worked on Fantastic Children and Catnap, the movie, are working on 2 new anime projects. This is the guy who did Fumiko's Confession, the short anime film about the girl running away from a guy who's confessing to her, that got a lot of hits. I think it was last year. So yes, more from that guy, which is pretty awesome. No news on whether these are going to be filmed or what, but certainly stuff coming out on that soon. Meanwhile, we've got some new animation about showing the Survival War episode of Girls in Panzer, little 14-minute OVA episode on the second disc for Girls in Panzer. It looks like it's going to be a swimsuit episode. So if you're interested in seeing those girls in swimsuits, I guess that's a good thing. We now have news. The Steins Gate film has been slated for April 20th. The name is Fukaryoiki no Deja Vu. This will be basically a sequel to the original anime series, so quite interesting there. Also, we now have an English teaser for the new Space Pirate Captain Harlock CGI film. It was announced a little while ago. What's interesting about this is that it's a plan to do a sort of Dark Knight style reboot of the Harlock universe. So, a new, darker Harlock, not a bad idea. Follow-up on a story that broke this week, but we now have more information about. An image circulated this week about, stating that the Gundam The Origin anime TV series, it was announced back in 2011, was now dated for 2014. Unfortunately, that image apparently is a fake. It is based on an earlier poster. It's supposed to be in the next issue of Gundam Ace, but Gundam Ace has said it will not have, that poster is not in the magazine. So, apparently someone hoaxed the internet about that. Now, there will be a Gundam The Origin anime series, probably. It was announced, but we don't know when yet. It hasn't been slated or anything, so we'll see. For all we know, it will be 2014. Some more numbers on the Evangelion 3.0 film, You Cannot Redo. It has been open since November 17th, and has raked in $56 million US dollars equivalent since it opened. That's over 5 billion yen. And it's only having been in 94 theaters. So that's pretty darn awesome. So certainly the Evangelion film is doing well over there in Japan. Meanwhile, information on the third Berserk film, it will be an uncut R18 plus version of the third Berserk movie, which is roughly equivalent to a rated R film over here. Anyone under 18 absolutely may not go in unless accompanied. Actually, take that back. No, an R18 plus film can only be seen by those 18 years or older. So it's pretty dramatic. It is got that rating because of, quote, extremely provocative sexual content, end quote. They'll also be releasing a 15 plus version, which will open on apparently the same day. So you can go and see the one with lots more sex if you want. Bad news for Code Geass fans. The Akira the Exile video series the second volume has been delayed from spring to the summer. So unfortunately that's just been pushed back, probably trying to just get it done right, which is always a good thing. Bit of video game news. NIS CEO Sohei Nikawa has announced that they're still trying to make an anime adaptation of Kami-sama to Onme Kakome no Paradox, God and the Destiny Revolution Paradox, the role-playing game. This is by the team behind this Gaia, which is why it's significant news. And so they're working on it. Hopefully there will be an anime adaptation, but nothing firm on that yet. Meanwhile, some interesting licensing news. Discotek has announced they have licensed the Tenjo Tenge anime series. It should pop out this year on DVD with the original English dub from Genion, as well as Japanese and English subtitles. They've also licensed Blue Sun number 6. So a bit of a classic there. Will be released on a remastered DVD sometime this year, and with a Blu-ray sometime this year as well. And that will include the Bandai dub on there, plus the original Japanese dub. Media Blast has announced they've licensed Flight Ipatsu Juden-chan, the Juden-chan TV anime series. May not be dubbed, they said, and just not sure, but they said please wait for full details of the release. We will find out. Moving on to some manga news, a Missouri man, Chris John B., was sentenced on Thursday to 3 years in federal prison without parole, followed by 5 years of supervised release for basically owning lowly hentai dojin. His wife contacted local police by saying she found child pornography on his computer, and the police confiscated his computer and found a bunch of comics titled, quote, incest comics, end quote, that contained, quote, multiple images of minors engaging in graphic sexual intercourse, end quote. As a reminder, United States Code Section 1466A says it is illegal to produce, distribute, receive, or possess the intention to distribute a visual description of any kind, including drawings, cartoons, sculptures, or paintings, to depict a minor engaging in sexually explicit conduct and is obscene. So, yeah. Now, according to the original reporter of this, ICV2, Chris John B. was unable to afford an attorney and did not contact the Government Legal Defense Fund, and so he basically just pleaded guilty to it. So, reminder, Lolicon hentai is illegal in America. Meanwhile, in more library news, the American Library Association has released its top 10 graphic novels for teens in 2013. Among them is the manga Stargazing Dog by Takashi Murakami, which is pretty awesome. It got an Eisner nomination last year, I believe. It's part of a larger list of 55 great graphic novels for teens, which also included Attack on Titan, 5 centimeters per second, Dawn of the Arcana, and A Devil and Her Love Song. So, more manga love amongst U.S. librarians. The anime Penguin Drum which you may have remembered from a couple of years ago by Kunihiko Ikuhara, the guy who did Utena and Sailor Moon. There is now going to be a manga adaptation of that. It's 2 years later, but apparently Isuzu Shibata, the mangaka behind Your Captive, has announced that he's going to be drawing a manga adaptation of Mawaru Penguin Drum. Cool. Who knows? It will be in a monthly comic Burrs, which is where Hitalia and Otome Yokai Zakuro also is published. So, okay, we're going to get a Penguin Drum manga. We'll also get a Summer Wars manga over here in America. Vertical has confirmed they will be releasing the Summer Wars manga adaptation over here. It's 600 pages long. So I wonder if there's going to be more content there than was in the movie. Who knows? Also getting the manga treatment, Makoto Shinkai's next anime work, Kotonoha no Niwa, can't pronounce that very well, Garden of Words, will be getting a manga adaptation. And no news yet. Midoro Motohashi will be doing the manga adaptation of that. So we'll see. Shinkai said this will be his first actual real love story in the traditional Japanese meaning of the word love. Who knows? Meanwhile, Viz has announced that they will be publishing the full-color Dragon Ball manga within Weekly Shonen Jump over here. So if you subscribe to Weekly Shonen Jump, the digital anthology over here, you'll be getting the full-color Dragon Ball manga. Starts in chapter 195, which is where Dragon Ball Z starts, basically, and the Saiyan arc. So, we'll be getting the colorized version of Dragon Ball Z. I don't know quite why you want that, but whatever. Meanwhile, Ryan Sands, the manga translator, has said that the Strange Tale of Panorama Island, that's the name of it, is out to the printer and will be coming out in a few months. The actual license release over here in America. So we will be seeing The Strange Tale of Panorama Island. It's an award-winning manga, adapting a novella by Edogawa Rampo. And so that will be coming out over here, which is an interesting little title. Also, some just miscellaneous news, Jae-woon Kim, the South Korean director who worked on Last Stand, Bittersweet Life, and I Saw the Devil, and said his next project is most likely going to be a remake of Jin-Ro, the Mamoru Oshii film, that takes place in Korea. Now, if you're familiar with Jin-Ro, you know it's a pretty Japanese story, focused around some very Japanese events. So it'll be interesting to see how he adapts that for Korea. Like I said, that said, nothing's set in stone. He may not do that, but that's likely his next work. So it's very interesting. Mamoru Oshii, of course, of Pat Neighbor and Ghost in the Shell 2, Innocence, and the original Ghost in the Shell movie, and lots of other things. So interesting to see where that goes. Finally, we have some news that musical duo Every Little Thing will be making their voice acting debut in the anime series Eiga Hana Kappa Hana Sake Bakancho no Kuni no Daiboken. That's right. So yes, they will be characters in that. Not sure who they're going to be, if they're going to actually be the main characters or not. An adaptation of the Hana Kappa-kun picture books and newspaper manga about a kappa with a flower growing out of his head. Every Little Thing will be out there. It's pretty nice. I believe Every Little Thing has done a number of anime works, but I'm trying to find out. I'm sorry, I should have pulled this up earlier. The various theme songs that they've done include Inuyasha, opening theme 4, Pokemon the movie Black, Initial D, Buzzer Beat, they did songs for, so hey, not a bad thing. Also did the theme song for Tales of Rebirth, the video game. So that's the news for this week. I think that covers about all of it. Thank you all so much for watching. I will see you all next week. Take care. Oh, I'm sorry, and thanks as always to AnimeNewsNetwork.com for publishing all these news, and to Secret Agent Vincent for culling them all out for us. So, thank you all.